Hello everybody, Storm here, and welcome back to episode 0. I'm creating this episode after creating episodes 1 and 2 because a lot of people have come to me and asked some questions about how to install the SDK itself and the extended SDK. So I figured I'd make this as sort of the first entry episode to get people up and running with their actual Unity project, and then we can jump into actual prefab creation in episodes 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So to set up your Bonelab extended SDK project, there's a couple of things you're going to need. So first of all, you're going to need the program Git. You can get it from this link here. I'll have it in the description of the video. You're going to need Unity Hub, which I'll also have a link in the description for. You're going to need Unity version 2021.3.5F1 specifically. That's what Bonelab uses. Then you're going to need the MarrowSDK, and then you're also going to need the extended SDK, which you can get at that short link, or I'll have a link in the description as well. Installing Git, you're basically going to want to visit the link and download the correct version for your machine. You're going to install Git, and then you're going to restart your PC. You have to restart your PC or you won't be able to correctly install the SDK into Unity. Then you're going to want to install Unity Hub by visiting the link and downloading from the website. Once it's installed, then you're going to use Unity Hub to install Unity version 2021.3F1, which I'll also have a link to in the description, because not every version of Unity shows up in Unity Hub by default, so it's just easy if you have a website link. Then you're going to need to install the SDKs. Once Unity 2021.3.5F1 is installed, create a new blank 3D URP project. Then you're going to follow the instructions on the MarrowSDK's project setup page, and you're going to want to follow those instructions on the setup page until you complete step 5. Then, instead of following step 6, you're going to go back to the extended SDK's page and follow the instructions there to install both the MarrowSDK and the extended SDK's packages. On the GitHub page for the extended SDK, then you're going to hit the green code button at the top, and then you're going to click download zip to download the example files. Then you're going to unzip its contents into your new project's assets folder once we make one, and you'll get the weapon examples and more assets in that folder. Then you're going to go back to the regular MarrowSDK page and continue following steps 7 and on in the original page to complete the SDK installation. There's a couple of buttons in Unity that you have to click in order for it to verify the install and let you actually start doing stuff with the SDK, and the setup page tells you how to do all that. So first thing we're going to need Git. So if we click here, it will take you to this page, and you can see Git has a couple of different versions. It's got Mac, Windows, and Linux. Most of you are probably going to be using Windows. That's what you're going to want to click, and it's just going to then ask for 32-bit or 64. If you're doing VR at all, you're typically going to be on 64-bit, so you just click 64-bit, it'll download to your desktop, and then you'll click on the little exe down here, and then it'll install it for you, and then you just need to restart your PC in order to get all of that correctly installed. Then we need to get Unity Hub. So Unity Hub, you can either use the link in the description or just type Unity Hub into Google, and it'll take you right to the download page for Unity, and you can just click download Unity Hub right here. It'll download to your desktop, and then you install it, and then you sign into your Unity ID, and then you'll be set to go. Now I already have it up here, and then we're going to go to installs, and we're going to want to install editor. And you can see right now there are a whole bunch of versions in here that you can choose from, 4 of them. Then there's pre-releases and archives, and if you can't find the version you're looking for, you can visit the download archive to get access to more versions. So if we click that, it'll take us to the download archive, and currently we are on Unity 2022. We want to be on 2021. And then if you look in my Unity project here, you can see it says 2021.3.5F1, so that's what we're looking for. So we're gonna just scroll down here until we get to 2021.3.5F1. It released June 22nd. So then we're just going to click this Unity Hub button, and it'll pop up a little prompt saying, hey, do you want Unity Hub to open this link? You'll just click yes, and then you'll follow the steps in Unity Hub to finish installing the editor. And then after you have installed Unity, you want to be sure to include the following modules under platforms. You want to add the Android build support and the Android SDK and NDK tools, and then open JDK. These I can show you. So if we go to installs, and then we have our install for Unity here. If we click the little gear icon, it says add modules. And you can see that we have a checkbox here next to anything that isn't already installed. Android support is already installed on mine, but you want to make sure all 3 of these are installed. I think there'll just be like one check mark, and if you check it, it'll just do all 3 of these. But in order to build your mod for Quest, if you want to support Quest, then you have to have this installed as well, because Quest runs Android. So you just go here and you'll click on those to install them. Or I believe when you first install the Unity version, there will be a prompt asking if you want to install that plugin right away, so you could just do that. And then once we're done, we're going to go to Projects. We're going to go to New Project. Then we're going to make sure we click on 3D URP. If we don't click on that, then our content won't be compatible with the main game and we won't be able to use it. Then we're going to just make a new folder here. I'm going to call this Example SDK, and that's just to keep it separated from my main project. And then we're going to click Select Folder, and that's where our SDK will be saved to on our hard drive. I'm just going to name this Example SDK again, and then we hit Create Project. And now we just have to wait for that to show up. And now you'll see we're already 3 steps in. We have all 3 of those things done. So now the only 2 things left to do to get our SDK fully installed is to install the SDK and to install the extended SDK. So we look Bonelab SDK, and then if we click here, this is just a Steam community discussion. Then they have this SDK link, so we're just gonna follow that. Boom. And so now if you want documentation, you're gonna go here to actually download the source code. If you want to look at all this stuff, it's pretty cool. But to actually install it, you're gonna click documentation, and then you're gonna scroll down to project setup, and now we're back at steps 1 through 5 that we need to follow. So if we look here, I'm gonna go ahead and close this project. This is my actual mod project. And instead we're going to open up this example scene where everything is just normal. So now what we need to do, we need to go Window and then Package Manager, and now we have that. I'm going to just dock it to this middle window here, makes it easier for me to find it. And then we have to make sure Git is installed before launching. If we have it, if we have Unity Hub installed, then we can quickly get the correct Unity version if you want to. Otherwise, you can just do it the way that I did it. It's pretty quick and easy. And then you want to create your new project. If building for Quest 2, you're going to go to File, Build Settings, Android Switch Platform. You only have to do that if you're only building for Android. If you're building for both PC and Android, then just build it in whatever version you're in, and then once you're done, I'll show you how to build for both versions in episodes 1 and 2. And then this is the step that we are going to jump back to the other page on. So we're going to go here, and now you're going to have these 3 Git URLs. You're going to want to drag over and copy these, right? And then you're going to go back to your Unity project. You're going to click this little plus sign, and then you're going to add a package from a Git URL. And then you can see add package from Git URL shows up, and you can just paste that in. You're going to click add, right? And then it says adding a new package. You just wait for a minute. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, and now our core RP library has been installed. You can see it's automatically been installed, not just downloaded, so we don't have to click any other buttons or anything. Then we're going to go back up here and click this again and go back to our GitHub page and copy this next link and paste it in there as well. And we just have to wait for that one to show up. Okay, and now both packs for the modified render pipeline have been installed. We can go back to the GitHub page, and this is the most important one. This is going to install everything related to the extended SDK that lets us make weapons and add extra functionality to our avatars and stuff like that. So I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to jump back into our Unity project and install this last one. Alright, and boom, there we go. So the extended MarrowSDK has been installed, and you can see we've got a couple of errors down here. I'm just going to clear them out for now. Then we're going to go back and make sure that you grab the code. So you're going to go up here, and you're going to click drop down and download that zip. And then this zip file, you're just going to extract it, and then you're going to drag that extracted folder and just drop it in here, and that'll give you your extra examples folder that's going to have the gun prefabs and stuff that you need. I'm going to go ahead and show this in folder, and I'm going to copy this, go to my mod drive, go to modding, Bonelab, and then I'm going to go inside the tutorial zip, and we're just going to make that and paste. So this is the code file that we got off of the GitHub. Going to hit extract all, and then hit extract again, and there's not much. It's a bunch of files, but it's only like 4 megabytes worth of files. Just takes a while because it's a bunch of really small C# code. Okay, awesome. So now we have the extracted folder, and if we jump inside, you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff. So we don't need this outer folder, but we do need this inner folder. I'm going to go back to my project, open up Windows on top of it, and then I'm just going to click and drag this inside of my project. There we go. So now everything has jumped in, and we have our new examples folder over here. And if we jump in here, then we have our examples folder, which has a whole bunch of different stuff. It's got a README file, just with some information about the different types of files in this folder. We have a simple handgun prefab, minimal sword prefab, minimal rifle with an existing magazine prefab, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Then we're going to go back to the regular SDK page and continue from step 7. So now we go here, and step 7, once you're installed, you want to go up to the top toolbar and click stress level 0, void tools, and validate project settings. So we're going to go here, stress level 0 tools, here, void tools, and then validate Marrow project settings. Click on that. And for me it popped up on another window, but usually it should just pop up kind of in the center of your screen somewhere. And you can see that there's a whole bunch of issues that it has, and there's this handy little fix all button. Just click fix all. It'll take just a few seconds, and then boom, no issues found in the project. You hit cool, that goes away, and as of right now, your Marrow Extended SDK project is set up and ready for you to start diving in. And then join me in episodes 1 and 2, and we'll teach you how to make a custom firearm for Bonelab. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope it helped you guys to get your project set up so that then we can get to creating. And until next time, I'll see you in the lab.